Hello everyone, today we're playing Stardew Valley 1.1 and I've just started a brand new farm. I've chosen the Hilltop Farm, which is centered around mining because I need to get one of these new farm layouts into all the endgame stuff. So my goal for doing it this time is to make my millions of gold as fast as possible in real time, not in game time, because normally I could do it million gold something by the end of summer of the first year. But I'm going to do it faster in real time, but it might take me 3, 4, or 5 years to do it. This is a different strategy than what I normally employ. Normally I try something like this just to feel ideas out and see if they're going to work. But anyways, I need a farm to get to the end game sooner than later so I can create more content, so this video is going to be on just that. It's going to be crazy and messy and sloppy, but it's going to get there, so I will fill you in on points along the way. Hope you enjoy this. So logically the first thing I'm going to do is clear a bit of land down here to plant my few seeds. The farming and seeds are going to be my main source of income through all this. I'm just going to basically plant seeds every day, water them, and go straight to bed and power through this as quickly as possible. Every time I get an opportunity to buy more expensive seeds, I'm going to do so because they're worth more money. And I've chosen the Hilltop Farm because of its mining capabilities, so I can harvest the ore I need for sprinklers right here on my farm. I think this farm is actually going to be quite suited for exactly this style of play, where I'm going to have a little bit of room for farming, which I'm going to utilize, and then have everything I need for mining, which is right here. It's pretty much exactly what this run is built for, so that works out very good. So right away in the first day, obviously we have lots of copper, and that's huge because normally you would not get copper on the first day, and especially not this much of it. I think I'm probably going to clear whatever rocks are here every day. I believe that gives more chance for things to spawn, and especially more valuable things. I will update whether or not that's true later in this run. So just like that, I've gathered up my mining stuff, 19 copper, stones, geodes, whatever, pretty much out of energy, so I'm just going to go straight to bed and do it again tomorrow. Like I said, the real-time speed is the key for me. So day 2, because I've been mining technically, I've already got the recipe for a furnace, so I can build one of those pretty shortly and start smelting stuff for sprinklers on day 2. My little crop is watered, off to do the mining. Day 2 already, my whole mining area is cleared out, so I'll take note of how many things spawn tomorrow so I know roughly what I'm working with every day. Also, I already have enough ingredients for a furnace, so I'm going to build one of those, and then hopefully within a day or two I can start smelting bars. I've also made a chest because I need a little more room for all the stuff I'm going to be gathering, and since I have a little bit of money right now, I'm going to buy a few more seeds because they are what fuels my profit. I have bought 7 cauliflower because they were the most expensive thing and I believe give me the most profit. Anyways, the thing I have to water the least because I could only afford 7 of them, so that was really my motivation there. Okay, cauliflower is watered, my watering can is refilled, I'm just going to put some stuff in the chest and go to bed. Easy peasy day 2. Day 3, raining, so that makes my job even quicker and easier. I don't need to water my small crop. I can just head straight to the mining stuff and see if there's anything worth mining. A mean crow has already gotten away with one of my parsnips. I suppose the scarecrow is probably in order sooner than later. And looking at the mining, only 1 rock spawned overnight, but it did give me a geode, so that's pretty good. I assume it'll be only a rock or 2 every day, so I might just spend a few days watering and then check this every 3-4 days to gather my mining stuff. I think that's probably the quickest way to do this. Day 4, and we have 2 geodes and a rock spawning. After my first harvest of my crops, I'm going to have the money I need to process the geodes, so I'll see if I got anything valuable from them. I've also been chopping down a tree or rock along the way as I've been making my way down here, just 1-2 at a time sort of thing, because I need to slowly clear my field anyway and it doesn't eat up any time. So I'm off to bed already. It is getting pretty late, 9:20 a.m. The morning of the 5th, another crow got another one of my precious parsnips, but they are ready to harvest, so I will do that and then sell them, and with my money I will expand my empire. I'm not going to bother checking my mining stuff. I want that to build up for a few days. I want to sell my parsnips and keep the train rolling. I made just over 450 gold from those parsnips, so that's pretty good. I'm going to roll that into other crops right now, once I do my mining that is. And I'm going to plan those around getting strawberries on the 13th, so it's not going to be cauliflower again, but I will see what the timing of other crops is like. Some copper spawned here, so I can use that. I can already smelt a copper bar. And I seem to be finding lots of coal in this patch, which is obviously essential for smelting and many other things. I've taken a few quick minutes to craft a scarecrow because those crows obviously are going to eat into my profits very quickly. So that's going to help. I've simply gone with parsnips again. I bought 24 of them. They grow fairly quickly and that's what I want right now. Quick profit, that way it can roll into a few strawberries come the right time because they are the most valuable. I'm also curious as to when my little mining area is going to start producing higher end ore. I wonder if that follows my mining skill. That's the assumption I'm going with right now. New crops watered, 12 a.m. 12 p.m. rather, going to bed. Raining today, not even going to do anything. I think I am going to keep my crops on the smaller side until my sprinklers are ready because I just really don't enjoy the repetitive watering. I'll obviously do bigger than this, but not really by a whole lot. It is now the 10th and my next batch of parsnips are all ready to be thrown in the bin and sold for a profit. And yes, they are going in the bin and not to Pierre because it is quicker for me to walk to the bin and sell them, and I don't need the money for a few more days anyway because strawberries aren't available for 3 more days. I've kind of settled on checking this mining area every 3 or 4 days. Depending on how fast things spawn, you might get 1 thing every day to 3 things every day. I obviously don't want it to build up too much because then it takes too much time and energy all at once to try and harvest. But I do want to try and keep it fairly clean because I believe that gives more chance for things to spawn. Not entirely sure, but I'm not going to take the time to look at it. It's the 12th and even more parsnips are ready. That means I should have some good money for strawberries, which are pretty expensive. I believe they cost 80 gold each themselves. Okay, my foraging turned into clearing a bit of field, so I did not actually find anything, but the egg festival is starting, so I'm going to go buy my strawberries. Okay, strawberries cost 100 gold each, not the 80 that I had thought. My mistake. But I only bought 8 of them, and as far as I know, they are still the most valuable spring crop at this harvest. They actually might not be now that the update is up, and now that I think about it, they adjusted the price of a lot of the valuable crops. But whatever, they're planted now and they will make me money, and that's all that matters on this messy run. It's the 14th, my cauliflower is done, except for that little asshole, but it's raining so I don't need to water anything, so I'm just going to quickly run down and smash some rocks, and maybe even process some geodes today. Another benefit of this method in farm layout is as I find the ore, I can go start upgrading my tools in fairly efficient order because it doesn't really matter what I do with them. I'm actually going to wait on processing the geodes. It takes too much time to wait for it to open and run all the way there, so I'm just going to bed. Already, thanks to my mining, I've gotten the skill to make the most basic of sprinklers. I need iron for that though, so hopefully some of that starts appearing in my little quarry sooner than later, and these berries are ready. Without spending too much time to run around and collect them all, I'm going to throw them all in the bin. I know they're not worth very much, so I'm not going to go very far out of my way to get them. And since I'm just over 1,000 gold now and feeling rich, I'm going to find another crop to plant because this ain't going to cut it. Oh, that's ready to go. I knew that. Since I've got some time to kill before the store opens and I can buy new crops, I'm simply going to hoe and water some spaces in preparation for those new crops. I'm not sure what I'm going to buy yet. I have 12 days until the end of the season, so I think that means I can plant an 11-day crop or better. So I might do potatoes. I believe cauliflower are 12 days, so... And since it's only 7 a.m, I'm going to go see what I got in my mining department. Just a few rocks, still going to smash them because these can give me coal too. And since I'm going to be over that way anyway, I'm going to take the time to process my geodes. So here I am at the blacksmith, 1381 gold before processing, and 1536 after processing. Only 150 gold sort of thing, but that is still something. I also got the little helmet, so I'm going to donate to that museum real quick. Not sure why, this is completely wasting time, but it's done. And I've bought 30 potatoes because I thought potatoes might be fun to grow and harvest. It's the 17th, it's raining, so I'm gonna do nothing. The 21st, it is raining and my strawberries are ready to be harvested, so I'm gonna do that as soon as I put all my crap in the bin where it belongs. The strawberries yielded me just under 1,000 gold and my potatoes are ready to go today, so I'm going to sell all these and maybe go get some new crops from the store. And as soon as I get enough copper from my mining pit here, I'm going to upgrade my watering can, because that will save me some time and make me a lot more money in the long run. My potatoes yielded me around 2,000 gold, I bought 20 more parsnips, and that should do me till the end of the season. It is the 25th and my final harvest of strawberries is done, which means I no longer have to water those and I get the money from them. The 26th and my final parsnips are ready. It is the final day of spring. I have nothing left to water except for those two, which I've apparently been forgetting to water. Maybe those will be done by tomorrow, maybe not. Whatever the case, I'm going to go check my ore field one more time. I'm a little bit curious to see if it starts developing different kinds of ore come summertime. I haven't checked it in I think 6 days, so here's the result, a couple copper, geode, and lots of rocks. Okay, already it is the first day of summer. Through my spring, I've gathered a total of 5,366 gold. I've upgraded my farming and mining skill a little bit. Obviously that's definitely not near as productive of a spring as I could have had, but that was not the point. It took me very little time to get here. If I was playing really to maximize my production, I probably would have played through only 4 days by now, instead of 28. So my strategy for summer is going to be just the same, except I'm going to plant blueberries and have them growing, and I'm going to plant them on the very first day, and that is because as I gather ore, hopefully I gather enough to upgrade my watering can, and then if I catch a rainy day, I can upgrade my watering can, and don't lose any days on my blueberry harvest to maximize easy profit. So thinking about this realistically, if I had been doing it the other way and really maximizing the use of my days and time, I probably actually could have had more gold in real time because I had been fishing for 3 or 4 straight days. So this might not actually be the quickest way in real time to do this, but this is really just me playing around with ideas at the very least, so yeah. So it looks like I have a helpful fairy coming along to help my crop along. Hopefully she does a whole bunch of it and not just a plant or two. Whatever the case, that's going to help my profit considerably because that's quite a few more harvests out of that thing, I think. I've bought 35 blueberries. I'm just going to maintain those all summer and see how the profit goes, and if it doesn't get a little bit better, I might actually switch back to fishing. It's day 2 of summer and my mining skill has leveled up to level 2, so I'm curious also if that's going to start to spawn different things in my little quarry. Yes, it's the 8th of summer and all these blueberries are already ready to go for the first time. So hopefully that means they'll all get extra harvests all throughout summer now. That would be awesome. I think my big plan here for the end of summer is to have my watering can upgraded. That way I can buy 3 times the amount of cranberries I believe is going to be my fall crop. So that's going to put my profit way up higher. So 2,500 gold before going to bed, and 4,400 after waking up for a partial harvest and a profit of about 1,800 gold overnight. Okay, I haven't checked my quarry thing in about a week, and here is the result. A little bit of copper, lots of rocks, 1 geode. The stuff that this area produces is clearly very slow. It is kind of handy, but it would be a lot better if it was just a little bit quicker on what it produces. I did get enough copper to make another copper bar, so that's 1 step closer to upgrading my watering can. So I need to have that done kind of sooner than later. If I don't find more of that ore within the next week, I'm going to have to make other arrangements. And by other arrangements, I mean buying the ore from the blacksmith, smelting it into 1 more bar, and then waiting for my rainy day. It is the 12th of summer now, and my fairy assisted blueberries are all ready to go again, so that's awesome. That means extra money all season long. My regular unassisted blueberries are ready to go today. It is the 14th. It is already the 17th of summer, and I have not checked my mining pit in about a week, so hopefully there's some copper here for me. That should be enough to get me another bar. It was in fact enough for 2 bars. That's awesome. Now I can smelt my final bar needed for my watering can upgrade, and then I just need to wait for the rainy day. One thing I've noticed about my little mining area in my farm is that it does not produce any quartz, and quartz are essential for the quality sprinklers I'm trying to build eventually, so if that doesn't start appearing at some point, I'm going to have to make other arrangements. My farming skill has been leveled up to level 5, which means I can choose the tiller profession, so my crops are now worth 10% more. Which isn't a huge amount, but over the long term that is going to work out to many millions of dollars. Another week has passed since I've checked my mining area, so I'm going to go see what kind of treasure I have. Also, I've just checked the weather and it's going to rain tomorrow, so now that my crop is watered, I'm going to turn in my watering can to the blacksmith for the upgrade. Also going to process the 5 basic geodes I've found so far. So, lucky for me, it's rained 2 days in a row, so I did not lose out on any days of watering. And my watering can will be ready to go tomorrow, so even if it's bright and sunny, I didn't skip a beat. Okay, so seeing as I can't get my watering can just yet, I'm going to run and check my little mining patch. I don't expect much, but we'll see what's there. Just a couple rocks and a geode so far. I think that during the winter time on this file, I'm going to go down into the mines and probably level my mining skill way up, and at that point we'll see if that makes a difference for what the little mining area there does. Also, over the course of this winter, I want to try and get enough ingredients, being iron, quartz, and gold, to make a lot of quality sprinklers. That way I don't have to do any watering next year. Or at least as little as possible. Now my copper watering can is done, and that's awesome because now my watering is 3 times as fast. Or I can water 3 times the crop, which I'm going to do through fall. I've got 35 blueberries now, and I'm going to do, I think, about 100 cranberries. It is the last day of summer now, so I'm not going to bother to water my crops obviously. They will be dead in the morning. Gathered the few blueberries I got, so I'm just going to call it a day. To get me here to the end of summer, I've made 26, bordering 30,000 gold after all this, and it's taken me just over an hour and a half, so that is pretty good time in real time. Okay, since the store is open, I'm going to buy my cranberries, and I'm also going to buy enough fertilizer to do the whole crop. I've had enough sap to make 30 fertilizer, so I need to buy another 70. Turns out those cranberries are very expensive, so I only had enough money left over for 36 fertilizer, but that still will do the majority of the crop, and it just gives me extra profit, so right on. So that's what 100 cranberries looks like, watered, seeded, and scarecrowed. Roughly another week has passed since I've checked on my mining spot. I predict more of the same, mostly rocks, a little bit of copper, and maybe geode. And I am correct. I think my next order of business is going to be upgrading my pick for mining in the winter. I only need 1 more copper bar to do that, so I should be able to find that in my little quarry. I would love a few rainy days right now. This watering is very, very boring. The 8th of fall and my first harvest of cranberries are ready, which is good because I needed a little extra motivation to keep watering these things. I've decided that after my winter of mining, I'm simply going to set up whatever sprinklers I can and not water things anymore. So if that means I'm watering 4 plants, I'm going to go with 4 plants. These should be worth quite a bit though, because there's 100 of them and each one produces multiple berries. And most of them are fertilized, so finally start to make some real money. And I can't help but notice there's only 15 silver quality and 7 gold quality cranberries, even though most of them are fertilized. It seems I read somewhere that fertilizer does not really have a great effect on things that produce multiple berries. Maybe someone could help clarify that, because I'm not going to bother to look it up, and it's way too late now. I didn't spend a whole lot on the fertilizer, but usually it at least justifies its own cost, and in this case I'm not sure if it did. Or maybe it spreads it out over multiple harvests, I don't really know. So let's find out how much those cranberries are worth. First harvest. Farming leveled up. That's not a surprise. I can make my quality sprinklers if I had the ingredients. 17,000 gold, so that's pretty good. Starting to make some money. And awesome, it's raining right after the first harvest, so just right back to bed. Another week has passed, so it's time to check my ore deposit. Hopefully I have enough copper to upgrade my pick, for no reason other than I'm impatient and want to get it done. Not unless these both have a lot of copper in them. That's 2. If this one has 3, we'll be in luck. 4. Nope, it only had 2. No such luck. Whatever. The 13th and another harvest of cranberries is ready. So that should be another 17,000 gold or so. And today I think I'm also going to wander over and see what I have for copper in the quarry. Because it would be nice to get my pickaxe upgraded. Just to break up the monotony of this little run. This time around too, the numbers for the quality berries were a little bit better. So that's good. My guy can be a little bit less depressed about his farm now. I wonder what the odds are that it'll rain for the rest of fall. Probably not very good, but I'm really hoping for that. There is no copper here today, and I'm going to pout about it by not smashing any of those rocks. They're just going to stay right where they are and think about what they've done. So that yielded me another 18,000 gold, so that's a little bit closer to my goal of whatever my goal is. I don't even remember if I had a specific goal starting this video. So if anything, it'll be a nice demonstration of the Hilltop Farm. So it's been another week. I managed to get 1 copper out of my little quarry, so I now have 5, and I'm going to smelt that into a bar and then upgrade my pick. Yay! Excitement! Another thing I might do is buy the iron and coal I need to smelt enough bars to make the iron pickaxe, because that will make my mining a little faster and that'll make everything a little bit faster. So I think I'm actually going to do that, seeing as I have a good amount of gold now anyway. Okay, so I have the iron I need to smelt into the bars. I need to upgrade the pick one more time. And then I will do the watering can again over winter time, because I can mine the ore the old-fashioned way. 18th of fall, another harvest is ready. I think by my math I should get 2 more of these after today, so that's pretty good. Should leave me just shy of 100,000 gold by the end of fall. And that is some pretty good money considering how little time and effort I've spent on this run. And it's only going to get easier after this winter. And for the time being, I'm probably going to stop wasting my time to run over to my little quarry thing in my field, because I'm not really getting anything worthwhile out of it. Every week I get maybe 5 copper and a bunch of rocks and maybe a couple geodes, so it's not worth my time to run all the way over there. I'm going to see what happens once my mining skill levels up. Hopefully some more valuable stuff starts showing up in there, but I will address it at that point. Farming is leveled up yet again, so that skill's going up quickly. Cranberries are a good source of experience. Nothing with that level that's of any interest to me really, but once I hit farming level 10, obviously my crops are worth a little more again. I feel like I'm getting absolutely no rain in this season, and it's very annoying. I know falls are usually pretty dry in this game, but I think I've had 1 rainy day so far, and I'm on the 20th. So it'd be nice to get at least 1 throughout the next 8 days, please. The 23rd, and yet another harvest of cranberries. I'm going a little bit crazier with each one of these. And before I forget, I'm going to go upgrade my pickaxe again, because it's actually getting a little bit close to the end of the season, and that's just the kind of thing that I would forget. The 25th of fall, and I finally have another day of rain. Can't tell you how happy I am to see that. Well, time to go to bed and water the crops tomorrow. Wow, 2 days of rain in a row. That's pretty awesome. Which leaves me with only 1 final day of watering. That means the cranberries should be ready again for 1 last harvest tomorrow, and then it's going to snow all over everything. Same day every year, it's pretty amazing. Alright, final day of fall, last harvest of cranberries, and hopefully pretty much the last thing I have to water on this file. Tomorrow, straight into the mines to gather enough stuff for a whole bunch of sprinkler resources. Then come springtime, nothing but sprinklers. Also, gonna go get my pickaxe. While I'm at it, might as well dive into the mines today, see if I can get down a few levels to start. I have no foraged items for extra energy, but I'm just gonna dive right on in there. So, now that I've got my fancy steel pickaxe, I'm going to dive down into the mines to see how far I can get, given my limited time and energy for the day. The steel pickaxe should help a lot for the early levels. Every rock should go down in 1 hit, so I should make quick work of those. Something I had meant to do before starting my mining adventure was buy a bigger backpack. I definitely didn't do that. but today should not be too focused on gathering stuff anyway. It should be just about getting as deep as I can, because iron appears after floor 40, I think, and that's kind of the start of my gathering. Made it to floor 14, which is disappointing because that's one shy of the checkpoint at 15, but that's okay. Got a lot of rocks, a little bit of copper, and made some progress. So I've decided the way I'm going to play this winter is every day I'm going to go to the mines and I'm going to get as far as I can and gather as much materials as I can with what energy I have. I'm not going to go out of my way to forge anything because I just don't want to waste any of my precious time with that. And I'm just going to get through the winter with whatever I get and then see where I'm at with spring. It's actually a terrible strategy, but it's just the one I want to employ right now because I'm just trying to get as late in the game as quick as I can. So yeah. Today, however, I'm going to get the backpack before I head to the mines, so I'm going to stand here uselessly for a little while, and then off I go. I now have the 24 size backpack and a full bar of energy, so we'll see how far I get. I do also have a few forged goods for once, so that might help me. Made it to level 30 in my limited time. It's now the 10th of winter, and I've just hit floor 90 in the mines. I wanted to hit floor 90 in particular because that's where you get the obsidian edge, and it makes all the floors a lot easier because it kills the monsters so quickly. Currently I have enough iron and enough quartz to make about 30 sprinklers, and I'm aiming for about 40 by spring. That should be no problem. Still need to collect quite a bit of gold, but I still have lots of time for that. So as soon as I hit my 40 sprinkler ingredient amount, I'm just going to skip through the rest of winter and start growing again in spring. I've just finished gathering all the gold I need to finish my resources. Now it's just a matter of smelting it all. It is only 9 AM on the 13th of winter, so after a few short days of smelting, my bars will be ready to go. I will turn them into sprinklers, lay them out in my field, and be ready to do some crops for the coming years. These 40 sprinklers should be able to water 320 plants. That is over triple the size of my largest crop from this previous year. So that's just easy money. All I have to do is plant it and wait for them to be ready. Now that I haven't checked this in about 3 weeks, I'm starting to see some more ore. There's lots of copper and even some iron starting to show. I'm not sure if that's because I made it down into the mines or if that has to do with my mining level. One way or another, it is coinciding with one of those two. After thinking about it for a second, I think it's to do with my mining level, being that I'm down far enough in the mines to have found gold ore, quite a bit of it too, and it's not showing up in my quarry, so I think it is probably related to your mining level. I've decided to upgrade my axe with all these precious minerals I have. That way I can remove these particular stumps, because I want to plant the bulk of my new crops in this area here. I'm not sure if they will entirely fit, but I'm going to give it a try. So this is what the finished product looks like. This is what I was going for all year. There are 42 sprinklers here, which should be just over 320 plants, all that can water themselves. All I have to do is stop by once in a while and pick them. Obviously I need a few more scarecrows, but from here it's just really easy money. These plants will take care of themselves while I can do all the other tedious stuff involved in getting to the end of the game. Now I'm pretty much just going to skip the rest of winter and right into spring. That way I can start planting and making money again. Okay, so we're right back around to the 1st of spring again. As you can see, a few weeds and stuff have popped up, but I didn't lose any sprinklers, so I can get rid of all that, make a few more scarecrows out of the ingredients, and keep on rolling. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you liked it. I just wanted to push one of these new maps more towards the end game. I need another map and character to get there because my original one is not doing so well these days, so I thought I'd just share some of the process with you. It was a little bit messy and very rushed, but this is the result and I'm happy with it. I could start making money and get all the way to the end of the game from here. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.